Opportunity Corridor is a project that our organization has been involved in for a very long time. There were community meetings, a lot of education to let people know what was being proposed and also to get people's input about where the roadway should go, what neighborhoods it should go through, and how it was going to help those neighborhoods.
The biggest challenge to overcome on the project was really getting people to understand what the project was and what the needs were. Understanding that it's not just going to be a freeway extension. We were able to listen to the public, the business owners, the area community development corps, all the different agencies that have been involved in the project, really understand what their needs were and what their concerns were.
This roadway with different names had been talked about since the 1960s, so people were very skeptical, concerned about what might happen to their homes, but through constant education, communication, I know ODOT even hired a minority marketing company to kind of get the word out and highlight residents. People became more comfortable.
It dealt with an age-old concern of many cities around the country. How are investment decisions being made? Who benefits and who bears the burden? The fact that this area of the city was so dormant, formerly called the Forgotten Triangle for a reason, it did yield an opportunity to really pump life back into that area. The question just becomes, how do you go about doing that? And will the people who have to live in proximity, do they reap the benefits of the new investments that are going to happen as a result of the corridor coming in?
The committees were very concerned about economic opportunities for those residents that lived in the neighborhoods. We had a contract with ODOT to do workforce development while the roadway was under construction. So the idea was that we would recruit residents to both work on the roadway and also to help them get jobs in the neighborhoods or wherever as a result of the roadway.
There was a young lady that spoke at our ribbon cutting ceremony to the press. And just hearing her talk about what a great opportunity it was, something that she never thought that she would do. And then I was actually driving the corridor about a week ago and driving through because they're putting trees up and putting some finishing touches on the project. And I saw her standing on the side of the road working with some folks, and she was having a great time, enjoying herself. And I just thought to myself, that's what this project was all about. Building a project on a brand new alignment required a lot of real estate acquisition. And one of the challenges was determining what portions of that real estate that we needed for the project and what we could turn back over to the city of Cleveland. The quicker we could get that property back into the city of Cleveland's hands, the quicker they could start working on the economic development portion of the project.
We are currently working on several large projects that run right along East 105th. Those include a new Meijer grocery store with 192 apartments above it. Also another mixed income apartment building. It'll be about $1.2 billion of investment that will happen over the next 5 years, and largely because of the investment of this roadway.
RTA, who's been a great partner, has committed to investing in their rapid transit facilities. The rapid transit facility at Quincy and East 105th experienced, I believe, a $4 million investment. RTA also made an investment in the Red Line station, north of $10 million. That transit-oriented opportunity is ever present because you have land resources now that will have some value around those stations. So I think we're hitting a number of the objectives. Obviously still work to do, but having the opportunity, no pun intended, to entice, investment into an area that was dormant for so long, I think is a huge benefit to our city.
One of the things I learned on this project is what we do matters. Normally, when you work on a project, you don't see the benefits of it. You may do an intersection project, a safety type project, and you can never measure the lives that you saved or the crashes that you've prevented. But on this particular project, when you drive through the corridor and you see the buildings going up and the economic development in the area, you see all the traffic using the corridor, you truly see that what ODOT did and what the community did and everybody involved in the project really did matter.
It's a special project for me just because I have been on it for 18 years. I don't think many people could say that they started their career and 18 years later they get to see it come to life. I did drive it with my family, and of course they're just like, oh mom, you're such a dork or something. But to me, again, it was 18 years of my life that went into all these things.
A lot of people didn't believe, but it's done. And here we are, and continuing to attract investment all along the corridor.
The Opportunity Corridor is becoming a true opportunity for the community. When we think about some of the investments that are being made, they are community beneficial, particularly with housing investments in the Fairfax neighborhood, the retail investments that are taking place, the convenience that's been provided. It's a number of people that I've talked to that were against the corridor. And they're now talking about it like it's the greatest thing. Oh, it's so easy to get from point A to point B.
I think it's hope for an area that has been economically depressed for many years. I think it's hope for the city of Cleveland as they work to reestablish themselves on the national stage. And I think it's hope for all the people that got an opportunity to work on this project. People that may have never thought about working in the construction industry. People that may have never thought that those, not just jobs, but careers were available.
Ultimately, when it's fully realized, when you see the land development happen, as you drive this spring and see the trees blossom, and you start to appreciate the fact that it just wasn't a roadway, but it was an investment to stimulate economic activity, then I think people will really start to see the why behind the Opportunity Corridor.